people these days.
Well, it looks like it's just us chickens today. I did, one of the questions I did want to ask is, do we want to skip the December meeting? Because it's not a good day, I think. So I think maybe we'll skip the December meeting unless somebody has something different to say that they think it's necessary to have that. Then we'll just pick back up in January. So, so
I think
welcome
so.
everybody. Good to see everybody. And we'll, like I usually say, we'll make this brief. We just want to hear what everybody's up to, just a very brief report. And Rhonda is going to start with talking about redistricting and what we've been working on as a chapter.
Um, actually more of what we've been working on as the state. Um, the state has pretty much declared that our single focus legislatively is opposing mid-cycle redistricting. At this point, those who go to lobby days, that is the message. They are asking us all, and you'll find links on our website, but for all of us to write letters to your legislators, to call your legislators. And they really said write, and they didn't say email, because a note is so much more powerful, or a postcard, than an email, though sending your own unique message is powerful too. But the redistricting is moving forward, unfortunately, at this point. And it's moving forward because the committee that was formed but never met has scheduled 2 meetings. One is for December 4th, and then the follow-up meeting on December 10th. And another thing that the league is emphasizing and requesting is a show of bodies at the hearing room. They are hoping, Florida League is hoping to have hundreds, if not thousands, of league members there wearing their t-shirts and demonstrating the strength of the opposition to mid-cycle redistricting. Getting to Tallahassee for a 2-hour meeting in the middle of the day from here is challenging. It's a 5-hour drive each way, but I want you all to stay tuned. They are trying to organize a series of buses throughout the state. So there would be a Jacksonville bus and a Tampa St. Pete bus, and etc., Orlando bus. And as soon as we find out more information, we will share that. There are a couple of us that are determined to be there. There are those who feel that this is even more important than lobby days, by showing, to make a statement, to overpower and overflow the committee room in opposition will speak volumes, is what they say. And the only other thing I want to report, and I'll answer any questions, but Common Cause joined the presentation that the state made the other day on Sunday, and they have done a nationwide polling of redistricting, but they gave us the Florida numbers, and it's overwhelmingly unpopular. We passed the 2 amendments with 63%. Bill, remind me of the year. It was 2010, I think?
2010.
2010. And the current polling shows that 66, we've only increased, 66% of the Florida voters support banning maps that favor a political party, and they support banning mid-cycle redistricting, and 76% say that they want an independent commission to do the redistricting every 10 years. So they are truly not representing the will of the people if they move forward with this. Yeah. And that's my report.
And just a reminder that it is unconstitutional. That's the amendments that Rhonda referenced, was the 2010 Fair Districts Amendments. So it is unconstitutional in Florida.
The
Bonnie?
Just
Oh,
the,
sorry.
Rhonda, can you repeat the dates?
December 4th, a
Mhm.
Thursday, and December 10th, I believe that's a Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
And hopefully there'll be buses for both dates. Also, Jessica pointed out that while it is unconstitutional, it does not, the language does not specifically say you can't do mid-cycle redistricting. It only says they must do redistricting after a census, after the census. So that is maybe what they're thinking that they'll have as a loophole, but anyway, we'll see.
But it
Rhonda,
does
what's
specifically
the
say
amendment? What
the
what number?
Fair Districts amendments from, I think it was 5 and 6, from, it was either 4 and 5 or 5 and 6 from 2010. And it specifically says that they cannot redraw the districts to support a political party or an incumbent. So that's the language of it. And we've been, obviously, we're appealing to the members to be involved on this item, but we're also trying to bring it to the public. So, and speak to the legislators. So we spoke to the legislative delegation on November 13th and we asked them to oppose redistricting. We asked them to support free and fair elections by voting against anything that would impede elections. And we asked them to fully fund the elections administrations because they have all these new requirements. And the supervisors of elections were not given any additional funding to implement the changes. We also were on Empowering Voices, the television show on Saturday. And I don't have the permanent link for that. I'll send it out so it can be in the newsletter. And with Renee James Gilmore. And much of the show was about opposing redistricting and what the league
We
is
also
doing.
did
It
have
was
an
all
editorial.
about what is the league doing right now. So I'll send out that link when we have it. All right.
And
Enough.
Billy and I are hoping to meet with at least Fiona McFarland before the legislative session begins. We'll be scheduling an appointment with her.
All right. Thank you. Okay, I don't see Nancy on. Andrea, do you have anything you can report about communications?
Let's see, can I report? We've been working on Giving Tuesday, or Nancy's been working on promoting Giving Tuesday. I've become the backup for the Facebook page for Sean, so she's been training me a little bit on what she does, how to boost posts, stuff like that. Other than that, Nancy's feeling better and
Good.
we're charging ahead with the next newsletter, and I think that's about it at the moment.
Excellent. Yeah, the Giving Tuesday meeting, the campaign looks really good, and we'll just call to your attention that the board has committed $5,000 as matching pledge. If we can raise another $5,000, we will match up to 5,000. So we're putting out this is the first time we've done this kind of an appeal. So we're asking the members to consider if they'd like to work on that to match your
And
money.
I think that you'll see it on our homepage on the website. It's going to be in the newsletter, and also there will be a couple of emails that go out. And the challenge is that the U.S. is probably going to be sending out messages, and Florida is going to be sending out messages. And you have your choice. You can donate that to them all, but of course, our preference is that you donate to your local league, so that we can begin to launch our Get Out the Vote campaign for the coming year.
Okay, great. Okay, Leslie, do you have anything to report regarding community development?
Yes, the list is complete and alphabetized and categorized. I tried to Sherry and I came up with a list. I added to it a little bit of categories: health, social, community, legal, political, professional, business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So every organization has at least one letter And some of them have several letters because some organizations do lots of different things. And what I would like, and what I suggested to Sherry, was that we send the list back to leadership and back to the committee chairs, because optimally, I think every one of those organizations should have a league person to liaise with them. And so I would like everybody to look over the lists for corrections, additions, whatever. And then people would be nice if people would say, oh, yeah, I know these people, and pencil their name in. And and as I have said before, this provides us with institutional memory. When I'm gone, there's a list, and anybody who wants to know about clean water, they can go to the list and they can find all the organizations that have something to do with clean water, and they don't need to call me or pick my brain. It's all right there. I mean, I think would be nice if it even, I'm not sure how much information we want to be made public if it became part of the website. Or maybe a link even would be nice.
Can be in the resource folder, perhaps.
Yes, something like that. But yeah, so that's where we are with that.
That sounds great, Leslie. Kathy, you have a question?
Yeah, getting back to the giving challenge, is that going to be also on social media?
Yes,
Okay.
Facebook
Yes.
and Instagram, I believe. Whatever Instagram is.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Leslie. Let's see. Editorial, Rhonda?
We have planned for an editorial on home rule to coincide with the February presentation that is in the works. But we don't have anything scheduled for December, certainly, and I don't know. We got a editorial every month for like 4 months in the Sarasota Herald Tribune. I don't know that we can overstay our welcome there. Anyway, but there are other publications. So, oh, and I'm sorry, one other thing, we're going to be working in collaboration with Manatee League and be working to develop editorials that they would distribute in their publications and we would distribute for our publications. So that is a development.
We're trying to work more closely with Manatee because they have a lot of strengths that it's a good synergy if we can work more closely together. Okay, let's see. Mary Pat, events?
Freaking myself out here. So yeah, we had a successful mid-cycle redistricting Zoom call with Jessica Lowminer in early November. We had actually 72 people attend a Zoom. December, we have our annual holiday luncheon, and then as Rhonda alluded to, we're going to have something in either late January or early February on the impact of the elimination of the state property taxes. Also on February 12th, in the evening, we are going to finally have a presentation by Project 180, and that's going to be at Harvest House here in Sarasota. And then our annual membership meeting is going to be on April 25th, I think. Either the 24th or 25th. We are still searching for a venue for that. And we have a couple of possibilities. Well, one possibility out there. Every place that I have been to has been completely booked. And every place is doing renovations. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, we're doing, all of our event evaluations are positive, and we are, I think, getting things down to a well-oiled machine for our events. And, as always, anybody that is interested in learning or, learning how to use the technology, the camera, and all that kind of stuff, it's way simpler than you think it is. And just let me know. And we'll do one-on-one training here at my house, and love to have you. The more the merrier. I think that's it. Did I forget anything?
That's one of the things that we could really use more help on is tech backup. Kathy?
Yes, I wanted to know, April the 25th is a Saturday. Are you considering the Saturday
Mhm.
for our luncheon?
Yes, either
Okay,
Friday or Saturday, um, depending on what I can find space for.
okay. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see, Anne or Mary Pat Carroll is not on the call, and she asked that if anybody wants to give an update on hot topics.
I thought I saw Carol get on. Maybe it's a different Carol.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, there is an iPad on, but
Right.
Carol, Carol's iPad too. Who are you?
I don't know.
Okay,
All
mystery
right.
person.
I don't know, but I can wing it on hot topics. We had our last program that on just on November. We are not running the December one because of the holiday one, but in January we'll start up again on healthcare accessibility in Sarasota. We have our speakers for that, so we're getting that tied up and cleaned up, and we're moving forward on plans. So yeah, it's going.
And I think February is going to be home rule, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's the plan that we're doing a home rule program on
Right.
in February.
Okay, awesome. All right. Membership, Debbie?
Yes, as I said earlier, I had my COVID vaccine yesterday and I'm still working on one cylinder, but I didn't want to miss this meeting. My husband has been horizontal since yesterday. Of course, I get up
Wow.
and I do everything I need to do, but my immune system apparently kicked in. So I'm good.
Okay.
Um, so for membership, just briefly, we had a South County November 12th happy coffee hour. We had 20 people who attended. Vilia was there and it was a big success. We also have had our monthly lunch meetings. Last one was November 18th. 22 people came. We had to get the big room and um, it was a mix of new and current members, which was very encouraging. And a few people brought guests who are considering joining. We're going to skip December, and our next lunch in Venice will be the third Tuesday, January the 20th. And I'm going to send out emails to everybody who was there at our Venice lunch and encourage them to come to our December 12th meeting, since we're not going to have a meeting in Venice in December. We're also, Elena and I are thinking about a new member orientation, and we have a date at the Fruitville Library on January the 27th at 5 p.m. We are still planning this, but we have the place reserved. And I must say, we got 12 new members since we had our last um, leaders update a month ago. And I've met some of them personally, and it's been quite rewarding. So
So
that's
Debbie,
Also,
we're skipping the Venice lunch in December. So we're still having the North County lunch in December?
I
At
don't
First
know.
Watch?
That would be, Elena's not on the call. I would have to
Okay.
check with her. I don't know that, William.
Okay, if we could just check because we need to put it in the newsletter if we're going to do that.
Right.
So,
Okay. Yep.
and I
And
do
I
want
do
to
want to say that we do have a January, the January is the 14th. I don't, for the North County lunch.
yes.
So that is,
Okay, I just didn't know if we wanted to skip December because of everybody's schedule is so busy. I did want to bring up after when Debbie calls the happy hour coffee, it was a wine bar. And after the lunch on last Tuesday, I stopped by the wine bar, which is kind of across the street, to just say thanks because it was a wonderful event. They were very gracious. Didn't they make all those appetizer platters, or how did that work? That was just
Yes, they did. And the owner is a woman. And I stopped and spoke with her on the way out. And I'm thinking of going back there because she was very impressed with our group, thinking, potential
yeah.
member. And we might want
They
to go back there again.
absolutely,
Yeah, they're on the
absolutely.
list. Yep.
Well, when I stopped in to say thank you, and she saw me walk in the door and she said, "Oh, it's the voter lady." And I stood and talked to the three of them for about at least 5 minutes as they were asking questions about what are we working on. So that was a big win, in my opinion. So, Jill, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. I know an event was planned for Fruitville Library, and I just read where it's closed for remodeling. So I'm just wondering whether that date, whether the reconstruction will be done by the date.
right, their construction is not supposed to be done until 2026. So you might
26.
want to double check. I thought that it was at Gulfgate Library is what Elena had talked about. That's where we had Barbara.
Barbara?
The 27th is actually a date we got kicked off of when we asked for it. So be careful, Debbie. Double check it.
I will double check with Elena. Thank you. I thank you. Yep.
It's closing December 18th of 2025 through July 19th of 2026.
Okay, good to know.
Well, you're all gonna have to come to my house. I don't know what to say. This is wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
I know
Did Jill? Oh, there you are. Right.
Did you
Yeah.
see me?
Ed report. What do you think?
Okay, all right. Well, as you know, the legislative session has started, committees are meeting and bills are being posted, and we're tracking the bills. There are two I just want to let you know about that will, we've already sent out from the state a request that people contact their legislators to support Senate Bill 424, which is the Education Facilities Bill, which will undo Schools of Hope co-locations. There's also a bill that Senator Gates just posted a couple of days ago, Senate Bill 318. It's only making a couple of the newspapers, but it'll get out there. That bill is calling for accountability from the Step Up for Students and also from the schools that are getting vouchers. And we're hoping that this one goes through. There was a similar bill last year or last session, and it didn't make its way through. But anyway, the Sarasota team, as well as a statewide team, we have been writing letters, calling legislators, meeting with legislators, so asking that school board members get more proactive. And there is a groundswell, especially around the Schools of Hope, because so many schools have been affected in so many counties. The other thing that the team is doing quite a bit of is school board monitoring. So as you know, we do a school board report card, and this is where we really could use a couple more people to help. We have 3 or 4 people who serve as observers. I usually watch the meeting, but I don't write something up. I get the report that's a combined report from the 3 or 4 people who submitted something. And then based on what I saw, I might make some adjustments. And then that goes to Velia for her approval. And then it comes back to me and I might have minor editing to do. But we know that that report card has made a difference in some things. At least it did during Tim Enos's term. We're going to have to do hard work again now that we have Bridget as chair. So every time there's a new chair, it seems like there's a lot of work to be done. The other thing that a lot of our team members do is speak at school board meetings. 3 or 4 people who are on our team speak at those school board meetings. Lately, they've been speaking largely about the 10 a.m. meetings, which cannot be attended by working parents or by students. So that's been problematic. And, we hope that that'll get resolved, but it's highly doubtful. We are also going to be meeting tomorrow night, and one of our topics of discussion is planning for a forum. We don't know exactly what that will look like. It might be a panel discussion. I have a few contacts, good people who could be on that. So we'll keep that in mind. We have postponed the Y Vote contest because the last 2 years that we did it, there were hurricanes. And so we had to end up extending the date. And so we decided this year to wait until after the new year to actually begin the contest. And Nancy, who has joined us, is heading up the subcommittee that is coming up with ideas, and we'll be reporting tomorrow night, so we'll know more about that. The other thing that we do a lot of informing the public about what's going on. So for instance, we have just, at the state level, we just updated the school choice brochure or trifold that I'm sure you've seen. And now the local teams throughout the state, including Sarasota, will be distributing those materials. And I want to encourage anybody here, if you are going to places where you think you could distribute some school choice brochures, please let me know and we'll make arrangements to either get those brochures to you or somehow so that you have them to distribute. I am still not driving, so it might be a little bit difficult for me to get to where you are, but we'll figure it out. Another thing we're doing is I'm actually presenting as part of a panel on book bans in early January. So, and that is in Sarasota at Temple Emmanuel. So, we're getting information out to the public. I'm surprised. I mean, it feels like it's a year late that panel is being held, but a decision was just made by a judge that actually puts about 22 books where it says they should not have been banned. I don't know that the districts will put them back on the shelves, though, because the Department of Education seems to be hell-bent on getting as many books off as you can, including skirting the process that they've outlined that you're supposed to follow. They just want superintendents to take the books off. One other thing I want to alert you to, this was actually a product of the State Education Action Team. We have just completed a report on the impact of higher education legislation on public universities in Florida. And that is at the state website. I think it was announced in the Voter, Florida Voter, as was information about SB 424. So that's it. Any questions?
I was going to ask about what was happening at the state level, and you just answered it, so thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jill. Let's see, while we're on the action teams, Anne, would you like to speak about natural resources?
Sure, we've been meeting along the way. We've been attending several conferences. Susie went to the climate adaptation conference, and I attended the Sustainable Communities Workshop this past month. We also both attended the Sarasota comprehensive climate action plan presentation, and we've been working with the sustainability people within the county on some of their activities. So we've been having a lot of speakers come in and educating our group about things. We've had some movement within the team. So we're just kind of moving on. We have some plans for some programming into the future, but that's it for, I think, at the moment.
Okay.
I would like, on the state level, I am been trying to interact with the state level, and I'm having kind of a difficult time with people. So anyway, I'm hoping to get a little more back and forth with the state about tracking bills, because I would be interested in just some more information. And so anyway, that's something that I'm looking to do.
Okay, thank you. Kathy, you have a question?
Yeah, Anne, I got an email from Joyce a couple of weeks ago about the fair, the county fair, and what she's doing working with the natural resources. Do you have any update on what's going on with that?
She's presented that to me too. She really wants us to have a table at the fair, and I I expressed concerns about staffing it, and I said we really needed to work with your team if we were going to do it, because your team has the materials and the tablecloths and the materials and stuff. So um, I think that if we're going to do it, we should work together, and perhaps we could have one person from the voter services team, and maybe somebody from we could work together. Maybe we'd have someone from the natural resources team at the table. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Joyce has talked to Vilya or Rhonda about that, because she was wanting to share the time, because the fair is quite a commitment. It's a lot of days, and but she was going to talk about having some other groups come in and take different days. And so
Yeah, I
I,
was
I
wondering, yeah, if she had been able to get the collaboration with the other organizations that she had talked to yet.
and I haven't heard. I know she wrote Sierra Club, she's written UU, she's written a couple of other people about doing it. And I don't know if of where that stands on if she's heard back from them or not. So
Okay,
yeah.
all
I
right.
know she contacted, I think, 3 other organizations, and the replies I saw were, we'd have to see if we could get people who were willing to do the work. But Anne, we did talk, Kathy and I did talk to her about the work and told her we didn't have the bandwidth, we didn't have the capacity to staff that booth. And that's when she went to get the natural resources approach. So we'll see if she can get the other organizations, but we
Yeah,
don't
I
have the
expressed the same
capacity.
concern, and she doesn't seem to think that's a problem. But it's a lot. It's manning
It's
tables
a
takes a lot of
tremendous,
people.
yeah, it is. And she says that we can leave the table empty. I don't think we can
No,
leave
we
the table
can't.
empty.
We
That's
can't.
embarrassing. Yeah, don't want
Well,
to do
not
that.
only that, but we've got, if we have voter registration materials out there, we need to know,
Yeah, can't
who's
do that.
got them, and, no, we
Yeah.
cannot leave the table empty with our stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I guess I'll ask her, unless you're going to ask her, Ann. Do you want to ask her or?
I've been going back and forth with it, and she keeps pursuing. She says, "Well, I'll talk to," and I said, "Well, I'll." She said, "I know, let me." So,
Okay,
Okay.
let's see what happens.
okay.
We don't have to chase it. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, while we're in action, let's talk about youth, or young adult outreach. So Bonnie, do you have a report?
Sure. So right now our team is working on 2 initiatives. The first one is in collaboration with the Patterson Foundation. This will be our second year with their Suncoast Remake Learning Days events, and that takes place in April. So right now we're really looking for a partner to host our event. It's called Dessert Dash. It's a ranked choice voting activity. And ideally, it would be a youth serving organization, because we really need reliable event attendance. We have the content, we just, don't have the attendance. Last year, we partnered with an elementary school, but the attendance was actually disappointingly low. But on a very positive note, the people that did participate, both the students and their families, really, it was very well received. So, in addition to hosting the activity during that April 26th event, 2026 event, we also have funds left over from last year. So, Tina Beer is currently in talks to hold an additional event at Girls Inc. So, we're encouraging any league members who might want to participate as both presenters and support staff. We have full lesson plans and materials, and we can share them with you, if you happen to be interested in working with us come the spring. And secondly, I'm very happy to say our board of directors agreed to participate with the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota and DeSoto counties in what's called their STAR Leadership Program. It stands for Students Taking Active Roles. And our league would be initiating a 1-year position for a full voting student member of the board. So how this works is that high school students with the Boys and Girls Club, they complete a 60-hour leadership curriculum. They meet with local officials and then they apply for placement on boards. The club itself actually vets the applicants and then tries to match them with organizations. And the students who join boards must attend at least 75% of the meetings, and they're supported by an advisor from the club. And they are excused from classes for the board meetings, and they can attend via Zoom. So for us, it means that we are required to participate in what's called their Star Maker partner training. We would have to draft appropriate bylaw language, and we have to establish a nomination and mentoring process. And then one of us as a board member would act as the mentor throughout that student's 1-year term. We also know that we need to ensure that the candidate is comfortable with our advocacy positions. So ultimately, the goal is to have the proposed bylaw amendment and a recommended student nominee prepared for consideration during our annual membership meeting, which I guess will be either April 24th or 25th. And that's my report.
Okay. Kathy?
Yes, I wanted to find out, I had a sidebar with Louise Colson at the Venice luncheon, and she seemed to indicate that she had a organization that was going to work out. Have you heard back from her?
I haven't heard whether it's confirmed. It's the Y down in Potter Place,
Potter Park, yeah.
Potter Park. And every spring they hold their Healthy Kids Day. And so she's trying to work with the executive director to see if we can firm that up. Yeah,
Perfect. Thank you.
Mary
Bonnie,
Pat?
yeah, Bonnie, what was the date of the Remake Learning Days?
So it's actually a window they give you anytime from April 18th to May 2nd. So it's a 2-week window. We're really looking at that weekend of April 18th. That's what we would hope.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, thanks.
thanks.
Okay, Mary Pat, why don't you go ahead and speak about the tracking that you wanted to speak of?
Okay, so I've been working with a small group on data gathering and developing a process that makes this process the task of evaluating the work that our chapter is doing. And we have created 2 forms that will be completed. And we will be starting this in January. So I just want to give all of you a heads up that you're going to be getting an email from one of us on the team, which is Debbie, Sherry, Nancy, Barbara. I'm probably missing somebody I know. Mary Meunier, to talk to you about what type of metrics are meaningful for you to be able to capture. So we know what the annual league survey requires, but we also want to know what will help you all and your committees or teams make decisions about your priorities and strategies going into the future. We've also created a volunteer time card that is a form that allows you to put in your hours, and as team leaders, you will be able to do that. Either you'll be able to decide and determine for your committee or team about whether you want to do that, have each person put their own hours in, or if you want to do that as a leader of a committee. And we'll look to send out monthly reminders to people to put their data in. So, and we're going to develop some videos and tutorials and things like that. But I just want to give you a heads up that this is coming. It is important for us to gather this and as opposed ongoing regular basis as opposed to once a year a group of people trying to go back and figure everything out. So more to come.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Liz had to leave. Her Thanksgiving guests have just arrived. But I'll let you know that right now we are planning to have another rally on either Saturday, January 17th, or sometime that weekend, that Martin Luther King weekend. We wanted to have a rally in alliance with some of the other activist groups, and I've sent out an email to see what other people are doing. I don't know that we would be hosting it, but we plan to participate in something. And then on February 14th, that is the 106th anniversary of the founding of the League. And so we will be doing a rally in conjunction with LWV Manatee. We love to vote, we love our country, something along that line, since it is Valentine's Day. So that's pending, more information to come on that. Sean is not on for social media. Speakers Bureau, Sherry. Sherry's doing great work on Speakers Bureau.
It's the mute
Okay, I
button.
got it. I got it. Okay, so as you know, as Speakers Bureau, it's another opportunity to get out there in the community and educate voters. And we've been doing great this year. We're winding up. We have one more to do. So we're looking towards next year, and we have a lot of options, and we're kind of narrowing it down on what to add to our current roster. We are getting new ones from other leagues, from state. Maybe collaborating on some youth presentations with one other league because they're also doing a lot of those. And we have some ideas for other presentations that we want to create. So given that mid-cycle redistricting is so important, that's definitely on our list. I'm getting a newsletter out early December to let everybody know what definitely is on the roster and some other things that we're considering. And we are probably going to make it. It keeps changing right now. As they get new information, which Rhonda just told you about. It keeps changing, but we're probably going to. It's going to be a little bit more educational, but it'll be apparent. But we'll mention what the lead position is and why, because we generally are more education than advocacy. There is something called Why Public Schools Matter that we're waiting to see and what that's like. And when that's out, we are going to bug you, Jill, to have you look at it and see what you think of it, or if we want to change it, or if you want to do it for us. So we'll be in touch when that gets posted. All right. And so there may be, another avenue, because we actually go to different organizations to present another avenue for why public schools are so important and why some of these bills and things
Yeah,
are important.
I think that was developed by one of my team members, Rosemary Niles, who's now
Oh, yeah, I know.
chair
Yeah.
of, I mean,
Okay.
things. So I've probably already seen it.
Oh,
But
good. Okay.
yeah, I may actually have it, but yeah, I'd be happy to present it somewhere.
Okay, that'd be great. Julia's creating open primaries, she promises me. But then as we get further into the year, we also have the elections. So we will certainly do the amendments, and we need everybody on our team doing that. But we also are talking about adding um, a presentation about how to navigate 411 and the voter guide, and so that people feel really comfortable with how to do that when they're looking to see who they want to vote for. And we're also thinking about so really just trying to understand, well, really, I guess making a case for the August primary, but really talking about why the August primary matters, what's on the August primary, and kind of get people more aware of that, so that we can help with getting out the vote. So that's something that we're thinking about as well. So a lot of that is going on, and what that ultimately means is that we could use some more people on our team. Because we can't have one person knowing three or four and being everywhere at once. So anybody who's interested, if you know anybody's interested in a particular topic or whatever, contact me. We have people who are just assistants or who are assisting as part of their training to be a speaker. We have speakers, and of course, we have people who are writing presentations. And finally, now that we have this great list from outreach that Leslie has worked on, we're going to also be needing people to call people on those lists and tell them about Speakers Bureau. I put out emails, but those only go so far, and I'm not great about doing all the follow-up phone calls. So there's a lot of just different ways that you can help out on that. So just keep that in mind. So that's what's going on. Thank you.
Okay. Jill, you have a question?
Yeah, I just have a question. I know this probably cuts across several of you, but I know that you're out there doing voter information, but we have that checklist for choosing a school board candidate, and voting for a school board candidate. It would be great if that material could also be where you're giving out other voter information. So if people will let me know if, they're going to be doing an event with that information, I can get you some of the school board candidate trifolds, because those have been very helpful to a lot of people.
Jill, are those new trifolds the new ones with the candidates that will be in the August primary?
No, the way it works, these are available throughout the state, okay? And anybody who gets it, they just write in the name of the candidate.
Okay.
So we'll be writing in, certain
All
people.
right, because they were very helpful. This was a great handout at our tabling events.
Great, thank you. So we just want to make sure that they're available to you. So, let me know and we'll figure out how to get them to you. Thanks.
And
That could
Jill, I
help
do.
me, right? Yeah, we will have voter services there anyways, but if we end up doing something about the August primary, we'll definitely point to that for a resource.
All right.
Thanks.
And Jill, I do have the trifold membership brochures for you. I just need to get them to you somehow, so I'll figure that out.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Okay, speaking of voter services, Kathy or Barbara?
Okay, for our meeting in November, meeting in December, December the 4th, I would like as many people as possible, even if you're not on the voter services certified list, that get the link, if you just let me know. I'm having a speaker of vote riders, and they are an organization that helps people get their social security cards, their driver's license, and things like that, and takes them there so that they have the information they need and the documentation they need to vote, to register to vote. And Taylor is going to give us all the information about boat riders on our December 4th Zoom call. So that's in December.
I'm sorry, can you remind me of your birth date? Question mark.
Yeah. And the other thing that I is open to all members is I have set up a supervisor of election tour of the administration building on Fruitvale Road. It will be January the 15th at 1:15 p.m. The reason I'd like for as many people in the organization in our league to be there is because it gives you the real deal as to how the ballots are handled. So when people say all this conspiracy stuff, you can say, well, I personally have gone through the tour and this is what happens. And you can be assured that your ballot is not being, or the counting machines are not being screwed up and all of that other stuff with some actual experience. So that's January the 15th. Carol is not Carol Hartz is not on this call, but she is working diligently. I think Mitzi, are you still here?
Yes.
Yes, I
She's
am
here.
here.
Okay.
Yes.
She's working with Carol on our Spanish outreach at Women's Resource Center, and they've developing and are putting together a naturalization program to move the people from so that they can get their naturalization papers. So this is turning out to be a really great collaboration with the Women's Resource Center. Mitzi, is there anything you would like to add about that?
Carol has been wonderful at sending me all of the documentation that she's begun to work on. And the test itself in English and Spanish is the primary document that I've been reviewing at this point since I think for that 5-week session in January, that'll I know at least be 2 of the 5 sessions. So I'm trying to play catch up with Carol on all of the documents she sent, but I think it's going to be a really great experience for the attendees. They'll have practical information to help them get through that very elaborate and complicated process.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to say that at the Taste of Newtown, I stopped by the table that the legal aid, Minnesota Legal Aid, was at. And I have established a relationship now with the legal aid, Minnesota Legal Aid. As it turns out, one of the gals in there is a league member, and they're very interested in working with us on returning citizens and letting and promoting with their pro bono attorneys, getting their CLE credits for helping ex-felons get the paperwork necessary for voting. Also on December the 4th, my understanding is that there's a also youth tabling event. And Sherry, are you also doing a Speakers Bureau presentation there?
You're muted.
So what we are doing is a new presentation on advocacy that we created, which is kind of a step-by-step how to, and also some examples and encouragement of what, each of these kids can do on their own or with a group. So we had done one there was very low attendance, but they're doing some incentives. So we're hoping that we get more teams at this one. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll grow over time. But why would they want to come to another meeting? I totally get it, right? So they're working on that, and it's a great new organization for us to be involved with. So hopefully that'll continue to grow.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Barbara, do you want to say anything more about returning citizens and Project 180?
No.
We finally have a
But,
place.
but uh, I'm gonna try to check at the food bank. I tried to reach the person at the food bank. In terms of GOTV, it's not, get out the vote. It's not too early for us to talk to them again about distributing information at the food pantries. So I'm gonna try to get a hold of the person in charge of the food pantries. They're going crazy now for the holidays because, I mean, we had 600 families come through Van Wezel on Saturday morning to get food for Thanksgiving. And so I think we should, that's the only other thing I've done. I think in terms of the Project 180, we just have to get together with Mary Pat and figure out the AV. But they are really looking forward to coming and they don't mind waiting until February at all.
Oh, great. And then you and I will get together about Minnesota Legal Aid.
Right.
We're going to do a
Right.
co-meeting on that.
And Harvest House, right? There's something about Harvest House.
Yeah.
There was a whole list.
Kathy, are you talking about Legal Aid of Minnesota?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and so who's the person you're referring to?
Well, Pam Fields.
Fields, okay. Well, I volunteer there.
Okay.
I am one of their volunteer
Pro bonus.
lawyers. I'm an emeritus attorney there. So, if you want.
Well, let me talk to you because there again, Barbara is up to date on the CLEs that have been developed for getting returning citizens. So let's collaborate then. I'll catch up with you and Barbara and the three of us maybe and get Pam on board with that.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy, I'm going to point out to you, and I don't know if it's a permanent thing, but the State Speakers Bureau has set up their monthly call exactly the same time as your call, just so you know that. They've only had one, so we'll know this coming month if they intend to keep that time, but just wanted to make you aware of that.
Yeah, well, we ended up changing our time from 5:30 to 4 o'clock because everybody wanted it earlier, so
Right.
whatever.
That's a popular time. Thursdays, everybody
check.
wants their call on Thursday, apparently.
We might have to change to a different Thursday of the month. I guess that was one thing they thought about.
Well, let's see if they
We'll
can,
work
if
on it.
it sounds like they'll continue with this date, but so far it was. Any questions? Ron?
Not a question, but my as a continuation of membership, I'd like to remind people that we are doing our third annual empowerment program this February and March for Mitzi and Laurel and Katie and Carol iPad 2. It's something that you might consider. You'll find flyer about it in the upcoming newsletter. It is an opportunity for members to learn more about the league, what we do, how we do it, how to be more effective as an advocate, and how to be a more effective volunteer, and certainly helps you if you wanted to segue into leadership positions. But if leadership isn't your thing, but knowing what it is you're doing out there is, please take a look at that and then contact me and I will be happy to share with you additional information. But it is 2 mornings in February and 2 mornings in March, 9:30 to noon. And we have lots of graduates here. Mary Pat and Dorothy and Leslie and Sherry and Deb and so there's it's a quite powerful program, and while you're hearing everything that's going on in the league, and boy are we doing a lot, it is a great way to sort of put it all together and not for it to be less overwhelming and clearer. So I hope you will consider joining us and call me. Thank you.
With that, it's 5 o'clock. I suggest that we not have a meeting in December and pick back up in January.
I agree.
So I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming and attending the call tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank
And bye to
you.
everybody but Andrew.
Bye.
You and
Going.
Andrea are staying on, correct?
Right. And yeah. And so if you hang up and we disappear, Andrea, I'll just call you. Whoop, you have to unmute.